got some notes today, but we'll see if we need the note. Maybe not. Maybe just the beginning, just to get started, and then once it's like into it, it's totally fine. Uh, yeah. First of all, being clear on your goals. Okay, that's gonna be the first step. And this one is kind of broad a little bit, but this is something that I learned and that I recommend you guys to do. Right. First, when I started, I wasn't clear on my goal at all. Like the only thing I did was to kind of trade, go with the flow a little bit, try new things, and then I came to a point where I started to trade for other people. Okay, and I didn't really expect that this would happen. That was not my original idea. That was not the goal. But I was like, I just went with the flow. Over time, I got to that point. But things can be a lot more simple and a lot more straightforward when you know exactly what your goal is, right? When you know exactly what is the thing you're looking for. And by that, I mean, you want to trade for other people, or do you want to trade for yourself, or like what exactly do you want? And that's really important to decide first. Like, do you want to trade full time? You want to trade part time? You want to travel and trade? You want to, like, what's the vision? What's the basic thing you want to reach over time? And as soon as you define this, then you can start to figure out what steps you need. Because the problem when you have no goals is that you start to trade, and the only thing that matters to you is like trading and getting better in trading, but you don't really know like the why. So because the thing is, with trading, there's all these steps you have to do around it, like finding investors. There's gonna be reaching out to people. There's gonna be backtesting some things so that your stats are better. Like all these things you have to do on the side. But if the only thing you care about is like trading and becoming profitable, yes, like it's a good goal. But what do you want next? Like what's the big thing you want? Because trading is always like becoming profitable is always going to be only like it's not that hard, right? Because of the fact that it's only you trading. Once you trade and once you do review and all these things, you'll get the result over time. But the point is, what else do you want? If you only want to trade and trade profitable, it's kind of a goal, but it's kind of a like an average goal, like a low goal. So if you want to do bigger things, then like get to figure out your goal first and get to figure out exactly where you want to go, because your goal is like your how do you say, your roadmap. So if you just start and you have no clue where you're going, you're gonna end up like in a place where you had no clue you would end up, and that's not always the best thing. But if you know from the start where exactly you want to go, that's really powerful, because you can start to put the right action step. Sorry guys, you can start to put the right action step toward reaching that goal, and that's awesome. Okay, so first things first. And if you guys have a goal, comment below. Let me know. I'm kind of curious because it can be like very broad in trading. You can have like all these different goals, and so like, so I'm curious to know what your goal is. But you can comment below and let me know as well. Curious about that. The second thing I learned, and this was like very early. I've seen in the chat box, Angel was saying just started to listen to episode 5. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know what 5 is. I think was that with Todd Brown? Not exactly sure. Or Akil Stokes. Yeah. Good question. All right. The second thing I learned, and this was like very, I'm kind of proud and happy I learned that early on in my podcast. Just to give you guys background, when I started the podcast, I wasn't profitable. I was trading. I'd been trading for 2 years, or maybe a little bit. No, 2 years, and I was like, I wasn't profitable. And one of my first episodes, I think episode 3, was like on my trading goal at that time, and it's quite funny. You could go back listen to it at that time. My trading goals were pretty simple. There were like implementation goals of things I wanted to do and keep track of. I don't think I've made a good job with those goals anyway. But the point is that that was a time where I didn't really know much about trading. I knew kind of a little bit, but all these things I learned over time, like this is like 10 times and like 100 times more. But one of those things that I learned early on, and I'm pretty happy to have learned that early on, was from another trader. I think it's episode, I don't know, from Alvin Eng. And Alvin, like the cool thing is that I thought before that the return you get per month or per year or whatever were like the whole thing were really really important, and that the goal in trading was to find the perfect strategy that you can get the biggest return possible. Okay, that's what I thought first. But here's the thing: the return don't really matter. Okay, that's something I learned. The returns you get every month, the percentage you see on your account or whatever, they are kind of irrelevant. And I'll explain what I mean by that. The thing is, you could be making 1% per month and only make that 1% per month. Or let's say you make that like, well, let's just say that's 1% per month. That's good, okay? But what really matters here is, can you do this like over time? And if the answer is yes, well, then you can increase your return incrementally as much as you want, right? Because, well, first of all, you could add more capital to your account so that you would like get more money on that capital, right? So if you only trade $1,000, 1% it's pretty low. But if you trade 10 or like $1,000,000, that 1% is pretty high, right? It's getting bigger and bigger every month. So either you get more money, or the other thing you can do is you increase a little bit your risk. Okay. So when I was doing that interview with Alvin, I didn't think about that. The fact that you can just increase a little bit your risk, not like crazy risk, so that you don't have too much of a risk in the market, but that you just increase the risk a little bit to have this bigger return, right? And that's simple to do. If you can do the 1% pretty much every month, or like whatever period we talk about here, you can just risk a little bit more, and you'll make more than 1%, right? That's basic. So those are things that beginning traders don't think about. They don't think about the return and what they're gonna get at the end of the month. But that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. What really matters is like the consistency you have with that return, and then you can do actions to increase that return pretty easily. Okay, you just have to be open to it, and don't forget that something you do average, like if you're consistent, is much better than something you do like a big thing you do and you're not consistent with it. You do it only once, like getting a 30% return per month. Good if you do it once, but getting that 2% per month consistently is much better, because then you can increase your risk, you can put more capital, and ultimately you reach your goal much faster, right? That's the second part. Roshan J, financial freedom. Okay, that's your goal. Okay. So what are you gonna do with financial freedom? I mean, sometimes I don't get the point. Why do people want to get financial freedom? Is it like just to have financial freedom, or are you gonna spend your days like doing nothing? I don't know, but you tell me. You probably have a reason why you want to get financial freedom, something behind it. And the sooner you start that thing behind, the happier you'll get like over time, and I think the better you'll feel. Because financial freedom for fun, like being financially free just for the fun of it, and for the proudness of saying I'm financially free, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, but what are you gonna do like every day? Like, so there must be something behind, something more powerful. Because financial freedom is like, it's basic, and money won't like solve the problem and solve any issue you have. So that's why having something deeper and something you connect more with is much more powerful. Okay. 9 people watching. Awesome. So if you guys are new and just watching this, comment below and let me know. I'm curious to know. And as always, we can interact, we can chat, and take time to talk about different topics. The other thing that I learned I think that was too late, was the importance of awareness, the importance of being aware in the market. That's crucial. And awareness is like a big topic. It's something that I learned a lot when I spoke with Andrew Menaker, episode 27. I don't know. It's been too late. It's been too long. But awareness is crucial. Being aware of, and there's a couple of different parts here. So let me just expand a little bit. Being aware of first of all, your energy, right? That's a big thing. We did a few podcasts about how to increase your energy. Because I used to come back from work and I would start to trade. And I was like in this state of like worry, of like you probably know the state. Like you don't know, like you just don't feel like doing anything when you come back from work or something. And you just want to like crash, and like it's not the best time to trade. But if you're there and you place trades, guess what? First, you're gonna make a mistake, and second, well, you're probably gonna not remember exactly what you did, and those trades are not gonna be as good as you want them to be. And you're gonna associate over time trading with being like boredom and like tough and difficult, and you're gonna give up, right? So the best thing to do is you watch your energy, you manage your energy, you try to be aware of how much energy you have, and you do something to change that. Do something to switch, like taking a walk after work, or like exercising more, or like eating more healthy. Because all these things are going to impact your trading over time. And they might not make a big difference today or like in the next trade, but in 100 trades or in like in the long run, they're going to make a big mistakes. They're going to make a big difference. And that's what you want to be very careful with. And the other thing is self-image. This is something that I have like deep down that I truly believe in. How powerful self-image can be and how tough it can be also, because if we don't use self-image properly, we get something bad, and we don't want to have that. I remember one time I was traveling, I think in Thailand or in some other place, and I just met this trader who was watching my videos and or podcast or something, and I asked him, and I think that one of the first thing we said in the conversation, I just asked him like what, like how his training was going and everything, and one of the first thing he said was like, "Well, I'm a losing trader. I'm losing money in the market." Okay, maybe you're a losing trader, but like, do you really want to see yourself that way? Do you really want to see yourself as someone like losing constantly and making mistakes? That's powerful. If you see yourself that way, if that's the self image you have of yourself, guess what? You're gonna keep making mistakes. You're gonna keep making bad trades, and you're gonna keep losing money. But if instead you see yourself in a different way, like, and I know like losing trader, yeah, like you can lose money, and you don't have to tell yourself that even though you're losing money, you're good. Like that's not the point. But the point is like change how you see yourself. Could you, instead of being a losing trader to yourself and someone who makes mistake, is not disciplined, could you see yourself as instead like someone who's making progress, right? Someone who's putting the work, who's like doing these efforts over time. And even though your results are not as good today, they're gonna be better over time, right? And as long as you see yourself as progressing, you're much ahead, because your self-image change. Your self-image is gonna change, and that's really really crucial. Okay, so self-image is big. If you see yourself a certain way, you're gonna be that certain way, and that's impossible to change. That's just how things are. If you see yourself as a bad trader, as someone who takes bad trade, you're gonna take more bad trade. And this is especially true and especially challenging when you have a bad month or when you have a drawdown. If you see yourself as a trader in a drawdown, guess what? You're gonna be a trader in a drawdown, and that's gonna be like that's gonna build up, and that's where it really gets challenging to kind of get out of that drawdown and get back on track. Okay, so I used to make that mistake like many times, and I think I still make it sometimes of like seeing yourself in a bad way. But you have to do something. You have to realize that first, and then you do something to get back on track, get back in the right self-image, the right thing you should have, the more positive version of yourself. Okay. I'll just answer a question I have in the chat box. Kalen, you have a trader mentor or someone from or learning from Forex tutorial? Which educational course video use for learning? Well, right now I don't learn as much as I used to do before. One thing I want to say is that, and I did the video about this, the fact that courses uh don't like are not the solution to anything, to everything. Like they're good for something, but they're not like the solution that are gonna like change your trading overall. You're the one responsible. You're the one putting in the action. Okay. And I do have some like programs that I offer myself with my academy with other traders and everything. But other than that, I've learned a lot from my podcast. Like that's the fact. Most of the things I learned were on my podcast. They were with the interviews I did and with the people I talked to. And also hanging out with traders. I can give you a couple of names. Like Usun Trong was episode 2 of the podcast a long time ago, and I learned just a lot from Usun Trong, and because it was here in Montreal. And then Alvin, who was episode I think 17, learned a lot also from him. But like all these people, and like you just have to find people around you that can help you. And the more you surround yourself with traders, the more success you see, and the more growth you have over time. Okay, that's crucial. Most people think that they can just buy a course or buy a program. Even my program, like people expect that they can just buy a program, and boom, they're gonna skyrocket to success. Okay, that's not the way it works. First of all, you're the one responsible to do the action, and most of it, I believe, most of the thing that we do on a daily basis, okay, they're That's my train of thought. So sorry, guys. But yeah, most of the thing we have to do in trading to become successful, we already know. Like we know, like you have to backtest. You have to do this, this, and that. You have to be disciplined. You have to have your trading plan. You have to have the same routine, the same habits. You have to watch a chart at like set times. But do you do it? Do you really do it? Like those are things that are basic. It's up on TV game. Welcome. Awesome. Yeah, make this 30 minute awesome. We'll make this long. It's gonna be the longest live ever, but no matter what. Uh yeah, so that's the point, right? You have to become independent and you have to like see and another topic I talked about a long time ago, and we're kind of deviating a little. No, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one for this live. The other thing I learned on my podcast, and this is like off script, but the other thing I learned was the importance and the crucial like necessity to become really, really master focused. Okay, like focusing on one thing at a time. You cannot like, and there's so many fields in trading, so many like smaller aspects, but you cannot master all of them at once. You cannot buy a course on price action, the course on like indicators, the course on money management, the course on psychology, and learn all of them at the same time. That's not gonna work. So for some time as a trader, you're gonna have times where you're good in price action, you're good, you're maybe average in psychology. That's your default state, and maybe you're really really bad at money management. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But you have to build the different parts over time. You cannot master all of them at once. So the thing you do is you pick a course on a topic, on price action, whatever, and then you master that course. Once you know like everything and you have everything, take a course on, I don't know, building a strategy. Then you follow that and you do like this, like until you master it. And then once it's done, you ask yourself, well, what is the field or the thing I need to work on the most? Is it like money? Like, what is the thing right now that needs the most attention for you to become successful? And you can like ask other people, or you can just figure out yourself. And probably then you figure out like, okay, I need to work on my trading psychology. Focus on that. Like for the next 30, 60 days, the only thing you learn about, you hear about, is trading psychology. Okay, you learn from different interviews on my podcast. You learn from different course. Doesn't matter, from different people. But this is the topic you want to master now. And until you master this one, then you go to the next topic. Right? But you don't do anything else. That's the only thing you have to focus on. Because otherwise, if you like learn from every source, and you're not gonna get results, and that's just a fact. Okay. And the most difficult thing I think with having a podcast like this, like the one I host, is that you have a lot of information. You have like all these people like giving different like things to master and things to learn, but you have to figure out like what to take now, what to work on now, and this is your job as the business owner. Like you have a business, no, as a trader, so your job is to figure out what you need to invest in right now. Like not invest your money or like pay course, and not necessarily, but invest your time in. Okay, your time is much more precious than your money. So what would you invest your time in? Like, do you have to invest your time in psychology and money management? Is it more in in having a strategy, backtesting something? Figure out that and then work on that and then pick the next part. Okay, that is the other thing I learned from my podcast, and I think we're at 3 now. Let's go to the question because these are great. Shark Up, who's better, Navin or Akil? Different style, totally different style. So there's no one better. And if we judge traders by the return, we're in the wrong place. That's not the goal. Remember, like the second lesson I said, returns are irrelevant. They don't matter, right? They don't matter because you're gonna only increase your risk. You're gonna get more return, or you can increase your capital. You're gonna get more money, right? So if you only judge traders by the return, or the P&L, it's irrelevant. Now, if you say who's better, Nevin or Akil, well, like what you judge them on. Maybe like I prefer someone and you prefer the other one. It all depends on your personality and like who you resonate with the most. But other than that, like if someone can get you the result you want, why would you spend 30 hours figuring out who's the best when you could spend these 30 hours working and improving and learning from someone? I don't know. Like, I don't know why you would spend time trying to figure out who's best, but yeah. Uh, yeah, okay. What's up, Archer? Nice. Welcome. Self-image is important. Of course. Work on your weak point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shark up. I more meant at teaching. I don't know. I never learned from. Well, I cannot say that, but I never took course from Akil or from Navin. Maybe you guys, if some of you guys, I know Kalen. Perhaps you took a course on from Akil and Navin. I don't know. Some people took courses, but I don't know. Teaching is not hard as long as you like pass the right information to people, and then people have to apply. Okay, the point is if you apply something someone teach you, and even if it's me, like it doesn't matter. If you apply something I teach you, and you don't get the result, well, I probably I didn't teach you the right thing. If you applied it correctly, guess that's the thing. But I think they teach two different things, and they have two different trading style. One of them might be more swing trading, the other one might be more day trading. One of them might be more traveling, the other one might be more at home. I don't know. Like it depends, right? So, really depends. Uh, Jonas, do you know ICT? No, I don't know. Inner Circle Trader, no idea. I'll check him out for fun. But yeah, okay. I need to go back to these different parts. We talked about awareness, right? Awareness of self-image, awareness of your energy level, really important. And the other one is of kind of yourself in general. You're being aware of how you feel now, of like what you need to work on. We talked about that also. And being aware of like what you're best at. Are you best at taking reversal trades? Or are you best at taking, I don't know, trend trades? That's gonna vary a lot. But unless you understand what you're best at, you're always going to be in the wrong place. And that's not the place you want to be in. Okay, so understand and be aware of what's better for you. Okay, what next thing you need to do next, and what you're best at working. Also, what you're not good at working, so you can improve in like in those areas. So awareness really crucial. And before I started my podcast, I never took a journal. Okay, well, no, I don't think so. I never journaled. I never reflected back on how I was and what I did wrong and good and like bad and all these things. But journaling and like noting things down is really useful for that part. The part of being aware and knowing what to focus on and understanding that even though someone teaches you a strategy, you might be really bad at it because that's your personality, that's yourself. That's how you perform. Okay? And maybe you're good at trading at night and you might be good at day trading at night, or maybe you're not good at trading at night because you're too tired. Okay, those are very very important things to be aware. But you have to spend the time understanding yourself, trying new things, because that's the only way you get better, and that you discover what you are best at. But that's the other biggest part that I learned. Let me see. I think that's my problem. Taking into different, yeah, too many different strategies. Of course, we talk about the power of focus. That's crucial for your strategy, for your style, for your setup, for everything. Okay, like, and and also for the tools to use. If you have like 5 trading journals that you like go through and like back and forth, and you try different things, it's tough. It's tough because not focusing and being everywhere doesn't get any result. It's kind of like it's a curve, and then you're going back and forth, and like you don't get anything. Okay, and it's totally fine for a while to be in this place where you try new things, you see different, you explore. That's fine, but ultimately you have to get to a point where you focus. And even though you hear about setup and strategies and different ideas that you might want to backtest, you might want to test, you don't have to act and you don't have to trade those and backtest those. Okay, if you know that these are not going to help you reach your goal and that you have something more important to focus on, well, focus on that first thing you have to focus on. Okay, otherwise you're going like back and forth, and that's not the way to go. That's not the way you get to your goals. Okay, all right. And there's the last part to it. I think this is going to be the fifth things I learned with my podcast. And this, I don't want to say it's with my podcast. I think it's with traveling mostly that I learned that crucial part is the importance of keeping your routines at all cost. Like no matter what you have to do, keep the routines the same. Okay, keep the routines like no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you do, no matter what time you wake up, keep the routine. Because as soon as you slip, that's where things really get messy, and that's where things kind of get not in place, and you have to work to get back to get them back on place. Okay, so if you and here's the thing with traveling, whenever you travel, it's very easy to forget your routines. Okay, you kind of get in this new place. I remember like the first day I got in Shanghai, I woke up, I said like, and that was the first time I was traveling. I woke up, I said like, okay, it's I don't know like 7 a.m. whatever. Okay, what do I do now? Like, should I check the chart? Should I trade? What's happening now? And so that's a powerful thing. Like if you forget your routines, you're like all over the place and you don't know where to focus on. So it takes time to get back on track and like just follow the routines again. But as soon as you have those new routines, then it gets easier and you kind of have this flow where trading is kind of effortless. Okay. And that sounds, I remember like I just figured out that sounds like really bad. Trading is effortless, but it kind of is, right? Because you don't have to think about it. You just like watch the chart at these times, do these things, review your trades these days, and that's what's really really easy. Much easier than like being in the states where you don't know like what to do and you just like try to check the chart because you're late on something and you have to place trades and whatever. That's really really important. So no matter where you are in the world, no matter like what new things happen, try to keep the routines at all costs, because otherwise it's hard to get back and it's hard to keep going, hard to stay on track. Okay. I like to trade at night. Awesome, Archer. Suits my schedule and it's quite peaceful. Yeah, I used to like really a lot trading at night, except when I started to travel, then it kind of flipped and the night was in the morning. That like broke the whole thing. But I really loved the Asian session when I was trading here at night from like 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. or something, or 9:30, 10. That was really, really cool. Really liked it. How would you describe your trading style? Swing trading, reversal style. So I take reversal trades on a swing level, but they're multi-time frame. So they're taken from the daily chart. Well, they're decided on the daily chart, but enter on the 1 hour. That's new 1 hour, and then the forward chart. Used to do only the forward chart, but there's a lot more set up on the 1 hour now. So it's you just have to adapt. Uh, what's your favorite daybreak? Daybreak. Put a question mark. I don't know. What do you mean by daybreak? Shark up. Are you still planning on making a video on how much is too far? Yeah, yeah. Good point. This is a great one. NTV game was proposing to do that. I do a video on the topic of trading zones, how to identify them, and how to know kind of when it's too far from the zone and when it's at the zone and when it's like too low or too high from the zone. Okay, because that can be really really ambiguous. Like you draw your zone, let's say your resistance area, but how do you know it's like past the resistance, or how do you know it's like not yet at the place? Like you cannot place a trade yet. Okay, so I thought I would do a video on that pretty soon. But yeah, I'll probably do that not now because this is gonna be for the podcast, but probably I think Monday. Monday could be a good day for that video. Yeah, a live video. So if you guys want to have a video on that topic, just comment below. Just let me know so I know that people are interested in that topic. But I'll do the video anyway. It's just for me to know if you guys want to hear about that topic. Favorite. Oh, okay. Shark up. Favorite time zone. Yeah, favorite time zone. I don't know. That's a tough one. Favorite time zone. I don't know. One thing I want to say is that I've never traded in Europe, and so I trade only basically in Asia and in America. So that restricts a little bit the time zone. But yeah, favorite time zone. I think it depends. The cool thing I like about being in Asia is that, and I'm not in Asia now, but the cool thing I like about being in Asia is that the trading week starts on Monday morning. So Monday morning is like the opening of the trading session. Okay. Anyway, I'll finish that sentence. Monday morning is like the opening of the week for trading. It's like the opening of the forex market at 5 a.m. So it's kind of a good thing to I don't know. You just wake up Monday morning, you start to work and to trade. So it's kind of a good fit. While here's like Sunday evening, it's kind of, yeah, you wait to get back into it. I don't know, it's different. But yeah, and then it finishes on, I think, Saturday morning when you're in Asia. Yeah, so you don't really notice it. You don't really see the close, and near the close, it's like really quiet. So you don't trade that time most of the time. So it doesn't really matter. But favorite session, favorite trading session. Right now it doesn't matter because I swing trade only. But back when I was day trading, my favorite session was the Asian session. I have an article on my blog about how I traded it. I can put the link below, but I always forget. But that was the favorite session, Asian session, Tokyo, from like 7 to something p.m. Eastern time. That was the best one. I liked it. Yeah, cool. Well, let's see what's here. What trends better, Forex or stock? Depend on the period, depend on the time, and depend on what's happening. Rather than, I don't know. Sometimes Forex trends a lot, sometimes not a lot, and some pairs trend more than others. Okay, so but for me, it doesn't matter because I'm not the reverse. I'm not a trend trader. But for people with trends, I don't know. You could go with whatever you prefer. Some people say Forex trend more. Some people say stocks trend more. So I'm kind of in between the two. Marcel, let's see. When are you looking at your potential reversal? What exactly are you looking for? You have the yeah. I won't cover that here because I did a whole video like 2 days ago about the whole topic. So if you want to check it out, just go on the channel. It's gonna be it's gonna be very very close to the top. Been recorded 2 days ago, and exactly my rules. And there's many videos on that topic. If you want to check it out, it's gonna be there. I appreciate you guys. I think this video is gonna be turning into a podcast for next Monday because I ran out of guests, and that's unfortunate. But we're coming up with some more guests pretty soon. Let's see what's happening here. NTV Game, what do you think about traders that set up an alert system that alerts them when the trade setup is setting up and therefore can trade 24/7? I don't know, man. Alerts. What do you think about traders set up an alert system that alerts them? Oh, okay. Uh, well, they cannot trade 24/7 because they're gonna be sleeping. But alerts are good. I think they're good. I just like how the thing with alerts, and I tried to put alerts on my chart before, and I use them a lot sometimes. But the thing I don't like is that you get kind of disconnected from the chart, and it's kind of easy to forget what's happening. So you have this alert, but you just like forget the whole thing behind and what happened in the past. So you're kind of going back, and then like the way I like to do it is I like to follow my charts. So I like to know what's happening with your USD. I like to know what's happening with USD CAD. I like to know like what's happening with all the pairs I follow, so that if someone like asks me, like I know what to answer. If you put just an alert on your chart at the level or at a specific setup, yeah, okay, but you don't know like what's happening before. You don't follow the chart, and you're probably gonna be tempted to forget all these things. And whenever like you try to spot if it's a trend or whatever, or a sideways market, you're not gonna remember because it's in your head. The only thing you care about is like the alert and the setup. And the setup, I think, are not created equal. They're not happening like all at the same place, and they're not all as reliable. Some of them happen counter trend. Some of them happen at top of a big trend. Some of them they happen in the middle of a range. So those are gonna be different, I think. Another can, oh yeah, wake them up. I think that's obsessive. When you wake up at night to trade, I don't know. How many pips are your target usually? Always depend on the stop loss. Usually I don't put like fixed pip target, so I usually put that's for shark up. Yeah. Well, my targets are based on my stop loss. So my style is that I like to take partial profits. So I'll put like a take profit at 1 to 1, take profit at 3 to 1, and I'll just wait. I'll just wait till something get hit. And if my stop loss get hit, fine. If not, well, it's fine. Like who cares? But I don't look at pip amount. Usually it's gonna be like if I trade on the 1 hour chart, the stop loss might be around 50 pip. That means I could take profit at 50 pip and one at 100 pip at 200 no 150 pip. And the other if I trade on the 4 hour chart, it's gonna be more like 150 pip for the stop loss, and that's gonna adjust the numbers like 1 and then 3. So yeah, good question here. Yeah, how do you journal your trades? as in what tools you use. Well, I did a whole video about that topic. It's gonna be on the channel too. Maybe you can type it. You can type Desire to Trade Journal on YouTube. You're gonna find it for sure. I use a free tool called Trello, and I'll show you guys for fun. That's a good topic, but it's gonna be outside the video anyway. I'll open. The cool thing is Trello. They just released an app for Mac. So basically, it's installed on you. I think it's for Windows too. You have it on your computers. You can like open it anytime. Let me see if I can do something like. I'll just wait till I share my. It's still loading. We'll see how that goes. If I can, I'll share this this trading journal thing with you guys. If not, it's fine. That's loading. I don't know why. Okay. Well, there's a whole video about the topic on the channel, so you can check it out. It's not loading for me apparently today. Oh, there it goes. Just loaded. There we go. Let's just open that one. It's gonna take a second. Really outside of context, but that's fine. I use spreadsheet. Yeah, I don't like spreadsheet. I don't like the spreadsheet. That's the topic. I'm looking in new spreadsheet journal. Yeah. Trello. Yeah. Well spelled. NTV game. Nice. Okay, I'll just open it. Just loaded right now. So let me put this full screen and share. There we go. This is the interface that we have on Trello. Okay, it's well, you can go to the website trello.com. It's a free tool, and actually, I think if you use my code, I don't have the code now, but you can get like the premium version for free. Basically, what I do is I split this with different categories. So good winning trade, good losing trade, bad winning trade, bad losing trade. It just happened that for this month and this period, this is like started in August. Happens that for this one, there's no bad, but usually there's some bad trades. It happens. I have some missed trades, and those are the open trades right now. So what I do is I just split them into different categories. For every trade I take, I'll have this thing. I'll put the screenshot, and then I'll write a small comment here. Okay. So trade entered on the retouch of a breakout is at first half at 1-1, and second half at break even. Okay, that was a break even trade. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. And that's what I use for my journal. I'm kind of very visual. I did this. I don't really look at it. It's like a quick checklist of things to look at, but I don't really like focus on that one too much because I kind of know by now what to focus on and what to look for. But it's there just for fun of it. Someone offered me that thing. Offered me to do that checklist thing. Okay. Let's see. I use Evernote a lot. Yeah. I used to, back a few years ago, maybe a year ago, I was using Evernote for my journal too. But the only thing is that you have to like scroll through the thing, and I didn't really like it. But yeah, it's kind of using a word for your journal. It works if you like it. I like it a lot. But I just switched to this style, which is like more visual and more in different categories. Sharkup, how do I learn to trade the news? Go on my website, check out the podcast page, check out the interview with Jared Davis. You're gonna have pretty much everything you need. Trading news can be tough, can be unpredictable. Yeah, well, it depends if you want to trade the news or the news. Okay, that's a different topic. There's an episode with Yoe Hilam from and that's Forex Crunch. It's on the podcast page as well. Just check it out, and you can learn to trade the news with that one. But I personally don't trade the news. I just keep my same setup, the exact same thing I do, and I keep trading the same way. Usually it works 50% of the time, and that's good enough. Since you have changed your main trading time frame a couple of times, how much adjustment in retesting did you do on the strategy? Marcel, yeah. Basically, a few years ago, I did like a whole theory of backtesting, and I backtested many time frame. So I backtested the 1 hour chart all the way to the daily chart, and I didn't change that more, right? The only thing I did is I added the 1 hour chart, and the thing is, I'm always like going back on what I trade to see how this new strategy and this new time frame impacts the whole thing. What I've seen is that it's less reliable on the 1 hour chart, but you still get like pretty much the same stats. Okay, they're like pretty close to each other. And since it's happening at major zones, you're also increasing your odds of like not changing too much. So I backtested like the whole thing many years ago. Right now, I'm always like readjusting every 20 trades to see like how things perform. And if I add something new and like it doesn't work as expected, it's not the end of the world. Like you just go back, you change things, you tweak things a little bit, and you readjust to your old style. Okay, but they're pretty much the same win rate and same reward to risk. Well, reward to risk is actually higher, but they're pretty much the same win rate. Maybe some small differences, and there's always gonna be differences on different pairs and different time frame anyway. So yeah. What brand of coffee? What the fuck? What brand of coffee do you drink? I don't know. I drink pretty much anything. Sometimes Starbucks, but it doesn't happen that often. I'm actually drinking tea today because coffee is like too much at times. But any coffee is fine as long as it's coffee. Yeah, totally fine. Cool. So guys, I'll finish it here for today. I hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video today, please give it a like. That means a lot. And also, again, thank you for the 2,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. Means a lot to me. And I'll keep you guys with more content. Helps you do whatever you need to do to reach your goals. And I'll catch you guys pretty soon. Ciao.